Today I'm going to be showing you everything that you need to know about lifting as much weight as possible on the bench press. Now keep in mind, this is not a hypertrophic or a hypertrophy based chest workout. This is a strength and power workout to help you load as much weight on the bar as possible. The difference is a bench press where you're focusing on building the muscle or focusing on hypertrophy is going to have a lot more reps involved. Not to mention it's focusing on isolating and fatiguing that muscle. Where when we're training for power and more weight, we're focusing on leverage. Being able to control that weight from the entire point of the bench press, from the way down to the stabilization at the bottom to the press up. We're going to talk about how to set up your bench, how to set up the safety bar height, the rack height, or the bar height. Then we're going to take you through the bench press form, how to stabilize, where to lower the bar on the chest, and then how to explode out of the bottom. And let's get right to it. First things first is your bench setup. Now, if you're using a squat rack for this, here's how you want to set it up. First, you want to make sure that your bench is straight and aligned, right? So again, just make sure that you're as aligned as possible. Sometimes I like to measure how far out the bench is from the sides. So I just measure with my foot to see where I need to place the bench in the center. Next thing we need to find is our rack height. So for this, I'm going to lay down like so. I'm going to replicate my bench press form. Now, once your form is set, you're going to set the bar at eye line height or chin height. I like to set the rack height right around my benching sticking point. That way I only have to go this far in order to safely rack it up. So for me, I'm setting the rack height where my arms are at around a 90-degree angle. Now we're going to be adjusting where we put the safety bars. Now to adjust where the safety bars are, I'm going to do one rep and touch my chest. For me, I'm a little bit lower on the chest. Now you want the safety bar set up in a way that you could roll the bar forward and rest the bar on the safety rack. I should have enough room to be able to scoot in or out of the bar. Now it's time to go through your form step by step. First, you're going to sit tall on the bench. Bring your shoulders back and down to preemptively activate the lats. We want to bring our shoulders as close as we can to the butt in order to have a stronger press. So shoulders back and down. Try to hold that bridge as you get in position. Make sure that you're at eye line or chin line. Then you're going to widen up your foot stance. Push your shoulders into the pad. Then you're going to push your hips to your shoulders to create that arch. Take your grip on the bar. For me, that's typically the ring finger on the first ring of the knurling. For you, you could place the thumb right at the start of the knurling, then wrap your fingers around there. You can start with this grip or widen it up a little bit more. I want to hold that arch, push straight up. I want to find where on the chest to place the bar. So I'm going to balance the bar evenly across the palm. Slowly lower the bar and make sure that the wrists are stacked over the elbows. Keep it like that as you go down to the bottom. If you're too high, it's going to work more of your shoulders and be harder to press. Whereas if you're lower, you can have a stronger arch and more arm and tricep power to control that weight. Notice how I'm not going straight up and down. I want leverage, so I want to activate the lats in my arch, lower the weight so that my arms can assist. That's why my wrists are stacked over the elbows. And it's almost like you're pushing diagonally. Let your elbows naturally flare out on the way up. Bending the bar in on the way down, flaring the elbows out on the way up. Just don't flare them out too early or you'll get stuck. Let's put this all together. Shoulders back and down. Try to hold that arch as you get in position. Bring the bar to eye line or chin line. Find your finger placement. For me, it's ring finger on the first ring of the bar. Widen your feet so that you can push the knees out and activate the glutes. Then you're going to push the hips to the shoulders to create that arch. Imagine you're squeezing a loaf of bread with your lats as you press up. Keep the chest out as you lower that bar to that strong point. Push. Slowly down in that position again. And then push. The most important thing with the bench press is your setup. If you just go in there raw without properly warming up or having your technique down first, then your technique may lack. Because ultimately, the more you can squeeze or activate those lats, press the knees and activate the glutes, keep the core tight, and explode with the triceps and shoulders, that will keep every rep identical and will keep your form more disciplined, especially whenever it gets really heavy. So that way, instead of making beginner mistakes, like being too shaky or wobbly with the bar, you're going to be locked in. Hope you get a lot of value to this and hope this bumps your bench press up to the next level. Hope you get another plate loaded on your bench in the next couple weeks or so. Have yourself a fantastic day. Like and follow for more if you got some value out of this. So if you get a lot of value, please like and subscribe.